Big Dash knows what?
So we're back. Today's video, and you see the thumbnail, I want to talk a little bit about Jalin Hyatt. So just vibe on me for a second. So imagine this. Imagine being awarded the best wide receiver in college football, in all of college football. And during the draft process, all you hear is what you can't do. Jalin Hyatt can't run routes. Jalin Hyatt can't get off the press. Jalin Hyatt lacks some strength. Imagine being the top wide receiver in all of college football and going into the draft hearing about everything you can't do, and then on your pro day you have to hear from a coach that's working you out ask you, you know what your game is. And I'm paraphrasing. You know what your game is. No, what is that, coach? Speed. And you take that, and I love this reaction to it. It was kind of a little bit of a side eye, a little bit of a smile, and then just a remark. I can run routes though. I can run routes though. And then that wide receiver coach said, we'll see. And then Jalin Hyatt gives him a head nod and runs on to the field and proceeds to do what? Run routes. Now, I'll be a liar if I said that I didn't think that his route tree was limited. Prior to the draft, that's the only thing I thought about. There were early mocks where they had the New York Giants selecting Jalin Hyatt at 25. And I remember watching Jalin Hyatt, watching the plays from him, and thinking about, this man is wide open. They're not going to catch him. That's a 9 route. That's a go route. He's outrunning everybody. Why can't we press him? Oh, he's stacked. He's stacked. They can't press him. You can't cover it. I remember thinking about that on and on and on and wondering, okay, we know what he's good at, but can he run routes? So I'll be a liar if I said that I believe that the man can run routes this whole time, because I didn't. I will say this though, I've learned. I have new information, and what my eyes are telling me that this kid can run routes. Now we'll see what the timing is and his route tree is completely, because I don't know what that is yet, but he's way better. He's a way better route runner than I gave him credit for. And I'll admit that, because that's what I do. I keep it real 100% all the time, even if you don't agree with me. Whatever my point of view is not BS. I believe it. I believe it until I get new information that tells me otherwise. And I feel that same way about any of the players that I talk about, whether it's the quarterback, the running back, wide receivers, linebackers, safeties, anything like that. If I'm saying it on here to you, that means I absolutely believe it. I'm not going to sit here and BS you guys. And if you have questions, I will absolutely explain to you why I feel the way that I feel. And a lot of my opinions aren't popular at all, but they're still my opinions. And again, if you have questions about my opinions, I will gladly explain it to anybody that wants to hear it. So back to Jalin Hyatt. So imagine you're thinking you're going to be picked in the first round, the second round, but you don't end up going to the third round, and you happen to go to one of the teams that you wanted to go to. We saw the clips where, he was asked where he would like to go, and the Giants were one of those teams, ironically. And that video came out before the draft. And the New York Giants got him. So now we're going to think about the New York Giants and how this man fits in. Last year, nobody respected the speed of the wide receivers for the New York Giants. What did Joe Shane do? He addressed that in the offseason. He addressed that with Paris Campbell, speed, and he addressed that with Jalin Hyatt, speed. So these are two guys that are brought in that are fast guys. Now, both of these guys, especially when it comes to Paris Campbell, he's a route runner. He's the better route runner than people give him credit for. Sounds familiar, right? Now, the knock on Paris Campbell is that Paris Campbell has been injured. For the most of his career so far. Last year was his first year fully healthy, and he put up pretty good numbers. Now, when it comes to Jalin Hyatt, you don't have to worry about, real injury issues. For him, it's all about being a rookie, going through your rookie ups and downs, learning the playbook, getting acclimated in the system, and pretty much fighting for his reps. And I think he's doing that. So when people have a problem that Jalin Hyatt is running with the third team, I just sit back and laugh. Like, what do you expect to happen? What do you really expect to happen for a rookie to come in here, wide receiver, learn an entirely new system, especially different from what he did in college, and succeed? Now, we're talking about OTAs and we're talking about minicamp. We didn't even get into the training camp portion of this yet. But at the end of the day, when I read these articles put out by Giants.com, when I see, practice highlights and notes put out by the beat writers, you hear a lot of good things about Jalin Hyatt. In fact, you hear a bunch of good things about Jalin Hyatt, but people don't pay attention to that. What they do is they take the one story that comes out that's a little bit negative and they run with it. And that's what people like to do. They run with the negativity. And I understand that, because for some people, negativity is what gets them off. I understand that. For me, I'm a little bit more positive of a person. So when I hear a story about Jalin Hyatt running with the third string, I don't just jump to conclusions and think about all the bad things that can happen. Oh, he's too dumb to learn the playbook. Oh, he's not as good. He's going to be a bust. Things like that. No, I slow down and I think about why. Whenever something happens, and I would say this to anybody, whenever something happens, think about the why. Think about the why. Not just what's going on. Think about why. What makes sense? Why would he be running with the third team? And I came to this conclusion. The people in front of him know the offense better than he does. The people in front of him have a lot more experience than he does. The people in front of him have the trust of the coaches more than he does. Does that mean that he won't be able to gain the trust of the coaches? Does that mean he won't be able to grasp the offense even better? Does it mean that he won't be able to compete on the same level as some of these guys? No, it doesn't mean any of that. What it does mean is that right now, today, he is not on the same level as these guys when it comes to the playbook and the chemistry. But again, I go back to everything I've been hearing so far is that he's not dropping any balls. He's in the right place. He's catching touchdowns from all three quarterbacks, and I haven't heard anything bad from the coaches. So when I hear things like he's running with the third team, I don't look too deep into that. What I do is I take my logical mind and I think about the cause and reaction to why this might be, and that's the conclusion I come to. He's just not ready yet. He's just not ready yet. And the other thing is he does not have to be ready yet either. We still have training camp and preseason. And I will say this too. When it comes to plays on the field, I'm pretty sure when he's between those lines, the man is going to perform. And he's going to perform to the best of his ability, and people are going to find out exactly why he won the award for the best receiver in college football. But I just want to say, so for Jalin Hyatt, just imagine that all you do is work hard. All you do is prove that you belong and more. And you continuously hear doubt. The chip on his shoulder has to be enormous. And when you take a kid that's as talented as Jalin Hyatt, and he also has a chip on his shoulder, he's not afraid to work hard because his dad already showed you what he can do. You see the stock that he comes from. You see the way his mama is about him. I have no worries in the world about Jalin Hyatt. You know who should be worried? The rest of the NFL. The rest of the NFC should be worried about Jalin Hyatt because they keep poking the bear. They keep poking him. Pause. They keep picking on him. They keep making up these stories. I don't think he needs to be any more motivated than he is right now. But I will say this. I appreciate that motivation, because I think at the end of the day, we're waking up a giant. And Jalin Hyatt might be one of those ones. And if he is one of those ones, the New York Giants are going to be pretty damn good. So I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.